give you the plan for today. Today, I'm going to show you some new activities we developed. It's been a while since the last webinar. We've continued working on the vocabulary activities that you requested, and I'm going to show you all that today. Also, for you to know, I've added a few requests. If you have any more, please let me know. I'll give you the two main requests that I've heard for now. Low-level materials and some activities on linking words. Things like although, but, because, as well time linking words. Things like suddenly, while, all of a sudden. So we're working on both those things. Are there any other specific requests that you might have? Nothing in particular. Low-level materials, level A0, A1, A2, developing more materials on that, both vocabulary, grammar, and some speaking activities, because it's difficult to find speaking activities for those low levels. Anything else in particular you'd like to develop? Linking words, all right. I find a good way to work on linking words is with the pyramid of I'm right. Have you ever heard of the pyramid of I'm right? When all arguments, when you have a main argument, everything should point back up there. It's good to work with linking words in that perspective so that students think about which position, in which sections do the linking words make sense in this pyramid. The whole idea of the pyramid is that whatever argument you have, everything points back up. So I think A because 1, 2, and 3. And you know what? I think A because 1, 2, and 3. Well, I know 1 is true because of A and B. I also know that B is true because of A and B. And finally, 3 is true because A and B as well. In conclusion, I think A is true because 1, because 2, and because 3, and everything points back at that. Okay, and so work on the pyramid, yes? I can think of a way. All right, I'll think of some materials for the pyramid of I am right, and to include those on our website. You can't hear me. Somebody says that they can't hear me. Everybody else can hear me, right?
Yes, everything is okay.
In that case, I didn't see who said that they couldn't hear me. It's probably your settings. You have to check on Zoom. You have to switch on the sound. All right, so Zoom finished. Zoom finished updating on my computer, so I'm going to enter Zoom on the computer. That way I can share your screen with you, because I like the Zoom application on the phone, but unfortunately on the phone, you cannot share screen. So I can't share with you. Why isn't it starting? Maybe you had updates with Zoom as well today? Why? I'm very curious as to why it's updating right now. Why can't I join it? Zoom was perfect for all our previous webinars, and this one, I don't know what's going on. So while I'm doing that, just to confirm, just to continue, if you have, if you already have the database open, you'll see that I want you to open this section only with vocabulary. You know, in the filters, you can select different different types. Unselect grammar and select vocabulary. Because my Zoom invitation, for some reason, is not working. It worked perfectly for all our previous webinars. Why isn't it working? So if you open the database and you select vocabulary, you'll see that the first thing you'll see is that I've updated Go Fish instructions for all our Go Fish activities. I got more than once the request. We have a lot of Go Fish activities for vocabulary, and it's a very good way to practice vocabulary. So Go Fish, the whole idea is to have sets of cards. It works a bit like, in different cultures, it's also called family cards. So I have three cards, you have 3 cards, and I'll ask you for vocabulary. For example, I have 2 fruit, I'll ask you for a 3rd fruit. Do you have banana? If you say yes, if you have banana, you give the card to me and I can go again. If you don't, you say Go Fish, and I pick a new card from the stack of cards that is on the table. Have you played that kind of game before?
Yes.
Yes? That's exactly how it works. I'm really sorry. It's really strange. Why can I can't start it from my computer. It's completely blocked. I'll open it again. Did you have updates on your Zoom when you started here? There we go, start. Finally. Finally, now you see me on the computer, right? Okay, I'll exit this. There we go, finally. We're all on board. Sorry for that delay. Computers are fun sometimes. Do you have the database open on your end? I'm opening it right now as we speak. So I wanted to show you those Go Fish instructions. That's a great way, an easy way to practice vocabulary and to get the students to, they're basically playing a card game, but what they're doing is they keep repeating the vocabulary they need. So limit that game to a certain number of cards that you, certain vocabulary that you specifically want to practice, and you expand them little by little. I use those. If you check out, there we go. There we go, finally. Do you see? You should see the screen now. You should see my screen, Antoine Mark, with the website open, right? Yes? Does everybody see that?
Yes, we do.
Perfect. All right. So look, today we're going to focus a lot on vocabulary activities. So as I said, you open vocabulary, do a search.
Mhm.
And a good way, I don't know if you've noticed here, there's also a way to sort them. You can sort them by name and you can sort them by date created. We're going to do that to access faster all the new activities right there. So that's what I was talking about, the Go Fish instructions. All right. The Go Fish instructions would go with all the Go Fish activities. If you type in Go Fish directly in the search bar, you'll see that there are a lot of activities here for different types of vocabulary called Go Fish. We've put them in collections like Wily Flyers, work category, Wily Movers, work category, Wily Flyers, weather, Wily Movers, weather, Wily Flyers, transport. It goes on and on and on like that. I'm not going to go through every single one. You see, you have 5 pages of collections of vocabulary like that that the students need to know for these different Wily Cambridge exams, starters, movers, flyers. Do you have any questions about Go Fish?
No.
No, nothing in particular? All right, let's move on. So let's go back to our vocabulary activities here. So what I wanted to show you over the past 10 days, what we did is we expanded the vocabulary activities and vocabulary collections for, in general, exam preparation, but you'll see that the activities, we chose these sets of vocabulary based on different exams. In particular, for example, the baccalaureate in France and the YEGE in Russia. So you'll see you have even level of difficulty. It says YEGE here. If you're searching directly for YEGE material, you'll find these as well in there. And so I'm going to start just with vocabulary. So what we're going to do for these sets of vocabulary that students need to know for their exams, we're going to put them in collection. And the first thing we're going to do, we're not going to concentrate on fill in the blanks, things like that. There are a lot of fill in the blank type activities that you will find in your textbooks for these. What we wanted to focus on are cards to be able to automate this vocabulary, because the students have quite a lot of vocabulary to automate in this category. So check this out. This is traveling vocabulary collection. We took the textbooks and the official recommendations. This is the vocabulary range. We always put it there: voyage, territory, bring, journey, season, go, trip, period. There's a bunch of traveling vocabulary that students are supposed to, well, it's highly recommended the students know for their exams. And they go with sets of cards like this. So we've put them in little collections. There you go. So here you have a set of 7 that go with a set of 7 pictures. Slow to open for some reason. There you go. Voyage, territory, bring, journey, season, go, trip, period, book. And you have set pictures to go with all this vocabulary. Now, this is essentially vocabulary. We bring you the cards. Why? Because it's one thing to learn the vocabulary. If you give students lists of words, the students learn, but this is mainly passive vocabulary. They actually need activities during the lesson to turn this vocabulary active and to use it. So a great way to use these cards are, first of all, matching. You give the students the cards with the words, the cards with the pictures, and they need to match. Second step, memory. They flip the cards over on the desk so they don't see the picture or the word. And in turn, students pick two randomly. You've shuffled them, of course. Pick two randomly and say the word on the card. If it's a word, they just read it. If it's a picture, they need to remember it. They'll go, oh, voyage. And the second one, it's a book. They don't match. I put them back in the same position. The whole goal here is to work on memory. So students are allowed to memorize where cards are because that plays on their memory as well. They're still working here. They're developing their skills. When it's the same, I pick two cards, book, book. I win, I get the two cards, they're mine. Your turn now. And you continue like that until the students have gone over all the cards. So these are two first game, matching and memory. Those are more like P1s. The students are not stressed. Right now, we're just working on their memory for them to learn the vocabulary better. What we do next, as you can see, it's in the instructions here. What we do next is we use those P2 cards to play card flip, for example. Now here you tell the students to put the words aside and you're going to work only with the pictures. And you put students in pairs and they're going to test each other faster and faster. So you have, for example, the set of cards. You're going to test me. And one by one, you show me a picture. I have to say the word as quickly as possible. And then you show me next picture. You can time me, and then you can challenge me to do it faster and faster and faster. What is it? Voyage. What is it? Book. What is it? Go. What is it? Fly. I do it faster and faster and faster. This already is more than just memory. It's pushing my brain to transfer something from memory, from knowledge, into a skill, a reflex, something that I directly associate a picture to a word. Is that clear?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yes, it is clear.
Another form of this is because you see in card flip, you're basically, one student is challenging himself or herself. It's a competition against yourself to do it faster and faster and faster. Once students are confident enough with that, you can then go into competitions between the students. That's what we call grab type activities, grab type card games. So here, both students are at equal pace. The cards are in a stack, face down on the table, and we unflip one, and the first student to say the word and grab the card wins. So here it's a challenge, it's a competition between two students. You unflip the card, oh, voyage, it's mine. Next card, book, it's mine. Be faster, come on, come on. Next card, ready, steady, go. Fly, it's mine. You can use all these cards in these ways. Matching, memory. Those are first P1 type activities. First, you're playing on memory and on knowledge. And then you move to card flip, challenging one by one. This is student on their own, and then grab. And here the students are challenging each other. Who can do it faster? All right?
Mm-hmm.
So here you have it. Traveling vocabulary, there's a lot. So we separated those into 4 separate parts. In each part, you have from 6 to 9 words of vocabulary. You can do 2 parts in a lesson if you give long lessons of 2 academic hours, but I wouldn't recommend teaching all of them in one lesson. It's too much it might be too much vocabulary for the students to digest in one go. So here it is, traveling vocabulary cards. Now, of course, that's not enough. We want more activities, more automate activities. And for all these collections, we will also include an Unscramble game. Unscramble is very simple. You've seen these activities before. There are a lot of them. Unscramble means the word is, the letters have been scrambled. So you see the first one is what?
Voyage.
Voyage. The second one?
Territory.
Very good. The third one?
Bring.
Okay. Number 6 is easy. Go. Season. What do you think this one is?
Journey.
Awesome. That's exactly what, that's exactly what we want to go with our students. Now, we've put them in card format so that you have all the flexibility. You're the teacher, you're the master of your classroom. You know what works best with your students. You can use these slowly, just as cards on their own, or even you don't have to cut them out in cards. It's like a P1 here. We just give the sheet to the students and they have to unscramble the words. It can even be for homework to check the vocabulary. Or you can cut them out into cards and play speed unscramble. So here you cut the cards out, they're face down again, and you unflip the card, and as quickly as possible, you have to say the word.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Clear?
Yes.
Yeah? You have all the vocabulary here. Unscramble quickly. Ticket. Okay. Unscramble quickly. Travel. Okay. Unscramble quickly. View. Fee. Fare. Keep. Arrive. Reach. That's it. The last one here. Reach. It works well. Okay. This is also a good way to automate the vocabulary.
Yeah.
All right. Again, you have in each instruction, I've put the entire list of vocabulary that is included in the activity.
Mm-hmm.
So for all these vocabulary ranges that our students are supposed to develop to prepare themselves for exam preparation, but let's face it, it's also very useful for life. We've made these collections like that. So yeah, you'll always have 2 P1, P2 type activities, traveling vocabulary, just the cards on their own. Those are the vocabulary and the pictures. Then you'll have Unscramble. And then we'll go into P3 and production type activities. So here, these are speaking type activities for the students to use the vocabulary. Now, I'm not going to start with the production. Let's do it in order. I'm going to start with the P3. There we go. Traveling vocabulary, make a story. Apparently, I forgot to attach the PDF.
There's no PDF here.
Yes. There's no PDF. That's my bad. I noted it down. I'll upload it right after our seminar. I'll show you the same. We have the same with sports activities. Make a story. So exactly the same principle, just the vocabulary range is different, as you can see. I'll show you that after. But this is how make a story works. So there are 3 stacks of cards: characters, place, and words. And the students work in pairs or in mini groups. Each pair gets 2 characters, a place, and 10 words. You can adapt it. That depends on the words you taught in the lesson. You can change that. The students take turns to say a sentence and build a story. Let me show you how it works. So the first page are instructions. Page 2, you have the vocabulary. that is included in the lesson. There you go. Page 4, you have the card places. London, beach, vampire castle, near a waterfall, hotel, a small town, in a submarine, the edge of a cliff, boarding school, that's always fun, a factory, the theater, a bank. Ooh, and we forgot the character cards, sorry, I forgot. And on the last page, you have different character cards. So the students are going to get 2 characters, a place, and some vocabulary to make up a quick story. Let's say, for example, we have Eager and Nathan. Where's the vampire castle? There we go. Eager and Nathan at the in a vampire castle, and we need to use these words. So Eager, of course, was first scared when he came to the vampire castle because he saw a bat and he thought it might be the real Dracula. He was really afraid. That's why his friend Nathan picked up a racket he found on the floor to defend himself against Dracula.
You can't defend yourself against
Sorry?
Dracula with a racket. You can't defend yourself with a racket against a vampire.
Why
You
not?
need, no, you need a special stick or a silver bullet.
So you think a stick will be better? What about a fishing rod?
No, it doesn't work with vampires.
No?
A fishing rod works with golden fish.
So it's not a professional way of defending yourself against a vampire. Yes, it's more amateur.
Absolutely. And you definitely die if you take a
You
racket.
see, the students can adapt their little story using the words given. So you cut out the words in little cards, and they have to use the cards to filter their story.
Athletics can help you though, if you're a good runner.
How can athletics help you against a vampire?
You're a
You
good
can run
runner.
away.
Run
Yeah.
away, but a vampire can fly.
Well, run to the brighter side of the street where the sun is shining.
All right, that's assuming
Right.
it's daytime. But what if Eager and Nathan were really silly and they went to visit a vampire castle at night?
And then remember your life, say goodbye to your parents.
Perfect. Story finished. Let's say we've got Dave and R6Y. So we've got a little alien and a robot. And where are they now? They are, they're at a human boarding school. And we'll change the vocabulary range. Let's go to the first page of vocabulary range. So what are, it seems it's just my internet connection that's unstable. It's not because of Zoom, maybe. Okay, so you remember we have an alien and a robot. Where did I say they were again?
In the boarding
At the
school.
human boarding school.
They're at a boarding school. And let's use this vocabulary. What? They're visiting a human boarding school.
To take a course on playing
Sorry?
video games. To take a course on playing video games.
They can make it lots of fun.
We lost you, Antoine.
You lost
Come
me?
back. Yes, we lost you.
I can hear you. Everything. I can hear you. I can see you.
Okay. There's some background noise.
There might be some background noise. I am at the school, and there are a lot of kids coming in and out.
No, it's definitely not kids. The noise.
Why not?
The white noise.
Weird. Like you hear some background noise, like some. What kind of background noise do you hear?
Like noise.
Like,
No. I'm trying to be very silent. So getting back to our activity, you get the idea of make a story, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes? You just need,
Yeah.
you cut out the cards and the students have 3 sets of cards, 2 characters, a place, and you can adapt the number of words you want them to use to make a quick story.
That's a great thing, by the way. I like it.
It's like a P3. This is, it's not a production because there's no preparation involved. This is really just reacting. You have the vocabulary and make a story quickly.
Mhm.
Let's have a look at some production activities for these vocabulary ranges. So I'll get back to traveling. So I noted here you see you don't have the button download. It means I forgot to attach the PDF. Ta-da-la. We'll get back to the traveling vocabulary because I want you to show you the production activity. So here for traveling vocabulary, big surprise, very creative, we made an activity where the students are going to plan a holiday. The fun thing here and the original thing here is that the students are going to role play. It's too easy for them to plan their own holiday. It can make a very good project for kids, for teens as well, for them to get together and actually design their own holiday or design a holiday resort together. They can actually make it into pictures, color it, and it can make a good poster. But here, what we were going for, they're going to role play. They're not going to think about themselves. So first, look, the activity consists of 2 parts. At first, students work individually. Each student gets a card with a character, and they have to decide what kind of holiday they want to go on. Give them this list of things for them to think of their ideas. So in terms of price, are you going for something cheap, something expensive? There's even a typo there.
It depends on destination, I think.
Destination, duration, right? Accommodation, what kind of accommodation they want? Are they planning on going for a 5-star hotel, or are they going to be camping? Are they going to go for bed and breakfast, things like that? Preferred means of transport. And finally, they're going to make their dream holiday. So when students are ready with their dream holidays, you can move to the second part. Now you put students in pairs or in mini groups, and their friends who want to go on holiday together. The students are going to have to compromise. They're going to describe this to each other. This is the basis of their conversation. But the real conversation is going to be compromising, finding a compromise.
How much time does it take to compromise?
This is a production activity, so this will easily take 20, 30 minutes of the lesson between the first part and the second part. So let me show you here. You have your characters.
Graham.
So let's take for example, who shall we take? We'll just take diagonally. Helen the mermaid, Graham the sailor, and Princess Linda. So student A, Helen. Well, student A is going to think about what kind of holiday she wants to go on. So like, she's a mermaid, so obviously there has to be some water nearby. That might be a problem for Graham because Graham's a sailor, and he might be sick and tired of water. He's sailing all year long. When he goes on holiday, he might want something new, something different.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Another compromise we'll probably have is that Graham, as a sailor, he probably can't afford a 5-star hotel, whereas Princess Linda, she's used to a very nice lifestyle. She's going to want to go to someplace nice, but they're going to have to compromise as well on that.
Yeah. Not a friendly company, actually.
Not a friendly company.
Yes, they have different interests.
They do, but that's a fun part of friendship, is that you don't always make friends with people who are exactly like you. And That's why we need to find we need to make a compromise. Imagine another Bella the pirate, Dr. Dixon, and Colin the troll together. Again, same thing. The whole idea here is for the students to first individually think about their preferences and then try to find a compromise. So Colin the troll, again, he's a bit like Graham, I'm assuming, not super wealthy, but Bella the pirate, I mean, Bella the pirate, she just had a huge, awesome mission with Captain Jack Sparrow, and she's loaded at the moment. She's got a treasure chest filled with gold coins. She might agree to pay for part of Colin the Troll's holiday as well. All about compromise.
Okay.
Colin could offer, for example, Colin the Troll could offer to work 6 months on her pirate ship, and in exchange, Bella will pay for the entire holiday. That's a nice compromise.
Nice compromise.
Dr. Dixon can actually offer the same. He's going to work for 3 months on Bella's pirate ship to treat all her injured pirates, and as well, Bella's going to pay for everyone.
Poor Bella.
Sorry?
Poor Bella.
Poor Bella, how come?
You're so seriously discussing now the problems of a pirate?
Very
so cool. I like it. Yeah. I'm also very serious about such things like vampires. You know,
this is a very serious deal. This is very.
I agree with you.
I mean, Bella Dixon and Colin are basically talking about working together for the coming couple of months. So it's a serious deal.
Yeah, and the unemployment rate is high. So good for Colin. Good for Bella.
Absolutely. So these are the characters for planning a holiday, basically.
Who drew the pictures? Did you do
Sorry?
that yourself? Who drew the pictures?
No, I'm a terrible drawer. I can draw a few things basically, but no, that's it. We have a designer on our team. She's really great because she's a teacher as well.
And a pirate.
To design. So she likes drawing all these pictures and illustrating all our activities.
She has a good sense of humor.
You've got to, come on. If you're an English teacher, I mean. Any questions on planning a holiday?
If you're a teacher, if you don't laugh, then you will have to cry. That's why you need to use your sense of humor.
I have no intention on crying. That's not why I became a teacher.
In a Russian school, Antoine.
Any questions on planning a holiday?
No, it's okay.
Clear?
Yes, everything is clear.
Good.
Well, look, along the same vibes, along the same lines. So here you see the traveling vocabulary: cards, unscramble, make a story. I'm going to upload the PDF, and planning a holiday. So you have two P1, P2 type cards that you can use, a P3, make a story, and then a production, planning a holiday. And the second collection of vocabulary that we prepared, sport activities, you'll have exactly the same. You have sport activities vocabulary cards. I'll quickly open it just to show you. So match in memory, the list here is not as long. You see? It's shorter. So we have two match in memory collections. Again, you have sets of cards with words and sets of pictures. Same thing for sport activities, cards, sport activities, unscramble. Make a story, we saw that together already as a P3. And production, for sport activities, we decided to make a fun production. It could also even be a project, a new kind of sport. So here are the instructions. Students can they can actually work individually here or in pairs mini groups. Each student pair mini group gets a card with a name of a new kind of sport. They are going to come up with the description of the sport, and it can include all these things. I do recommend what you can do is limit these categories depending on the level of the students. So for example, history of the sport, we're clearly going here with past tenses. The students are going to give the history in past. But if you haven't done past yet, no problem. You can just do equipment. You can do rules. All that is going to be, rules is going to be even an imperative. You don't even need to put subjects. Numbers of players, things like that. So you can adapt it. Championships as well. Students can organize their own World Cups, and they need to explain the rules, how you qualify for the final, how you win a game, things like that.
Mhm.
So let me show you the new kind of sports. There we go. All right, well, let's start with the first one. No, cabbage, seriously? Okay, Chaco Climbing. What do you think Chaco Climbing is?
It's climbing on a chocolate cliff, maybe.
A chocolate cliff. All right, that's a quick description. Very good. Any equipment you need for Chaco Climbing?
Oh, you need a chocolate cliff first.
That's it.
Yep. That's
What
it.
about your hands though? Because you know, when chocolate heats up, it kind of melts. So if I'm climbing with my bare hands on chocolate, it's going to start melting and I'm just going to slip and fall.
Okay, then you need special gloves and maybe special tools for your teeth, because you can't climb using only your hands. You must use your teeth as well.
All right, very good. Number of players, is that an individual sport?
No, it's a challenge, so we must have about 2 teams maybe, or maybe 2 people only.
And so if it's a competition between 2 teams, how do you win?
The first team who climbs the top of the chocolate cliff wins, as usual.
Makes sense, makes perfect sense. So we've here covered equipment, number of players, venue, it's a Chaco cliff, and the general rules. And you see, this is quite basic. An elementary student can do this, no problem. Now, if we're going to go into championships and history of the sport, that's a bit more difficult, a bit more challenging. Did you know that Russia was 5-time winner of the Chaco Climbing World Cup?
Oh, actually, tell us some facts.
Well, it all started actually thanks to it all started in the north of Russia. It's so cold up there that actually those gloves necessary for climbing the Chaco Mountain, they didn't need it. So the players from North Russia was so cold that they started doing Chaco cliff climbing without gloves. They developed that talent so well that their fingers are almost chocolate now. And since then, the 5 last World Cups, those teams from the north of Russia, they've won consecutively every single time, because the southern countries, they always struggle with their gloves. They're not used to handling chocolate on their own. I don't know, something like that.
Mm-hmm. What countries did take part in these competitions?
What country? Well,
Yeah. What countries? Can I name them?
well, the last final was Russia-Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unfortunately for my country, actually, the 5 last finals were Russia-Belgium, and everybody always expects Belgium to win because Belgium has a big history of chocolate making.
Yes.
That's the whole problem of the Belgian team, is that they're a bit too snobbish when it comes to chocolate. And so while they're climbing the Chaco cliff, The Belgians keep looking at the chocolate and trying to perfect it. Not as tasty as it could be. Not as dark as it could be. And so they waste time.
Okay. Russians are more practical.
Well, in Chaco climbing, definitely. I like figure cleaning.
Oh.
What do you think figure cleaning is?
I think everybody knows what is it.
So it's figure skating with a broom, right? Or maybe with a vacuum cleaner.
Yes, we can change.
So there are different categories. It's like in boxing, there are different categories. Like you have figure cleaning with a broom, figure cleaning with a vacuum cleaner, and then figure cleaning with a drone.
With
Three
what?
categories. I like it. Don't worry. You'll have loads of fun. Your students are going to come up with so many different ideas for all these new kinds of sports. It's loads of fun. Any questions on this?
No.
Clear?
Great. Yep.
All right. So that's exactly what I wanted to show you. This development, we're taking collection by collection of vocabulary ranges like that. And each time we're going to develop always P1s, P2s, a P3 and a production. And slowly we're going to expand. Now, there's vocabulary in these kind of like collections, but there's also what we started working on. We already started talking about this at the last webinar. We're making collections for verb patterns. So there are a lot of different verb patterns. Last webinar, I showed you these offers and replies and verb patterns for attitude. Now we've moved on to reporting verbs. Those are important. So look at the reporting verbs that we have in the collection. Admit plus ing, deny plus ing, mention plus ing, tell someone to do something, claim to do something, expect to do something, decide to do something, order someone to do something, and beg someone to do something. And these just come in with fill in the blanks. FIB is always just fill in the blanks. So if you don't have enough in your textbooks, here you have 2 fill in the blanks just to practice these reporting verbs. All right? The pet snake begged some salmon. That's a really weird pet snake. All right, the fill in the blanks are clear, right?
Yes.
No questions about those. So let's come back to the first page. And so P1, just fill in the blanks for your reporting verbs. Then P2s, we need to automate those. So same thing, same collection, beg someone to do something, and we have a card flip, 2 card flips. The verbs and actions. And the students quickly need to associate. So you have 2 stacks of cards, right? Admit,
Doing.
steal the case. I admit stealing the case. What else do we have? Claim and a random card. Get fake teeth. Oh, well, I claim to get fake teeth. That sounds weird. Beg. I like beg. I beg you to fail the exam. Please, please, please. The weirdest thing ever. But the thing is, with card flip, remember with automate activities, the whole goal is for the students to automate the verb patterns. So it sounds weird, but it's absolutely fine, okay? I beg you to buy a house. No, that's really nice.
Can I beg you to become a spy?
You beg me to become a spy?
Yes.
Yes?
Can you please become a spy? Please, please, please.
Well, if you've ever been to one of my lessons on passive, you'll know that I am planned to be the next James Bond on cinema. I don't know if just acting as James Bond at the cinema will qualify that I became a spy.
Okay.
And same thing, you have a second card flip, the same verbs, but with new, different ideas. Ooh, fall in love. I beg you to fall in love. That's awesome. I beg you to have surgery. Not so much. I hope no one begs me to sleep outside. All right, that's card
Well,
flip.
of course not. If you behave well, so we won't.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Whew. Who's to judge, though?
I don't know.
And so we'll move on. No questions about the card flips, right?
No.
Always P2s. You have 2 stacks of cards in front of you. And you unflip. You have a reporting verb and an action. And you need to make it as quickly as possible. P3 for this, I like mini dialogues. So here, the whole idea is on each card, students are going to have a quick situation and a recommendation of a verb they need to use. Okay? You broke your mom's favorite vase. Tell her about it and say that you're sorry. I admit to breaking the vase. I'm so, so sorry. You're a boss. You just asked your employee to stop eating at the workplace. Tell your business partner about it. I ordered that guy to stop eating at the workplace. He was always bringing in his shawarma. It stank the whole place up. You're a professor. Tell your students that they need to finish all their assignment by next week.
I expect you to finish everything by the next week.
Can't you hear yourself saying that during the week?
Nah.
No?
No. I always expect them to do everything by tomorrow, not next week.
Okay, well that's you're even stricter.
Yep.
So these are mini dialogues. All right? You'll find this P3 mini dialogues for all verb patterns. The previous verb patterns had the same little mini dialogues for P3. The whole idea is to get students to react immediately. They take the card and they need to make the construction. And finally, another P3 that I love for these is card flip, but this time with characters. So check it out. Students work in pairs. They take turns to take one card from each stack and make a sentence based on them. For example, deny plus a mermaid. The mermaid denied stealing the biggest pearl from the underworld castle. They're your characters. All right, so camel, claim. What did the camel claim?
He claimed to be, I don't know, the main animal in the world.
Wow.
That's the best.
And the camel also claimed that all humans had very poor eyesight because the camel claims to have 3 humps actually. Not one, not 2, but 3 humps. But all humans think it's just 1 or 2 humps.
What does mean humps? Or what?
Hump
Not a
is
big
on the back. They have a hump.
Okay.
H-U-M-P.
Okay, the bat, deny. What did the bat deny?
It denied being scary.
Really?
Yes. It's so nice and lovely.
Of course it is. What did the butterfly? What did the butterfly? What did the butterfly decide?
the butterfly decided to be as scary as a bat or as big as a mammoth.
Good luck, butterfly.
Or
I thought the butterfly just decided to stop being a caterpillar.
caterpillar. Maybe she decided to travel and fly to some, I don't know, dream country.
To some other country? The butterfly? Why does it want to fly to another country?
Just for a change, why not?
Just for a change, okay. And finally, our astronaut, beg.
The astronaut begged to let him go home. It's been like 40 years since he landed on the moon.
40 years? That's
how
ridiculous.
many? Yes, 40.
No,
40.
I understand the astronaut completely. 40
No.
years on the moon, yeah, he
50
begged to
maybe.
go home.
50. 60.
Are you sure he misses home though, after 40 years?
No,
Yeah.
I think he misses not home, he misses normal food, so he begs someone to bring him some hamburgers or pancakes.
They don't fly on the moon anymore. Nobody will bring him hamburgers.
Plus,
So he will have to do that.
plus I hope that after 40 years of no Earth food, I hope he misses something else than just hamburgers.
Yeah.
What, for example?
What, for example?
Carrots.
Well,
Carrots
you
and
did say pancakes. I would go with pancakes, yeah, definitely.
cucumbers.
Sure.
Sorry?
Cucumbers. Vodka martini.
Cucumbers. That's what you're gonna miss? Cucumbers?
Mothers.
I love cucumbers.
To me, cucumbers are just basically water.
No, it's great. Cucumbers
Okay.
are great.
All right.
They rule.
So the astronaut is gonna beg for some.
You know, as the
cucumbers.
doctors say, you know, as the old English saying goes, like a cucumber a day keeps everyone away, like not only the doctor.
Never heard that before.
You live and learn. You live and learn, Antoine.
Yeah, I do. I'm
Yeah.
learning a lot today, actually. All right, perfect. No questions about this card flip with characters?
No.
No?
Everything is clear.
Awesome. So that's all in all, really what I wanted to focus on today. Yes, that's everything. Do you have any questions, any other requests? As you said, more low-level materials. That's what Tom and I are working on, and activities for linking words. Any other specific requests that you know your students are going to need in the near future?
No.
No, everything is under control.
That's great to hear.
I wish I had that level of confidence. Everything is falling apart. I just found out that they have already changed again for the 100th time the procedures and the contents of the speaking activities for the OGA examination, and I hate them for that.
Well, to be fair, it's an exam that's under construction. So we should expect for the next 5 years, we should expect we should expect regular changes. It's an exam under construction. They're perfecting it as they go along.
They make it even worse.
It's far
All the
from
time.
perfection. Yeah.
I did hear about something that was, yes, I saw a petition online apparently that they don't offer answer keys to some activities, and that can be a bit frustrating.
They don't offer anything. They have changed the monologue, and they haven't they have only one demonstration task, only one. Like before, there were like 39 or 40 topics to speak on, and children could practice on the official side, the PP side. Now they don't have anything, but they have already changed it. And I don't know how to practice, where to take the material. There is no material. It doesn't exist in the nature.
I heard you. I'll look into it. Okay. Just the speaking part, right?
The speaking part and the reading, the first text, the first task. There used to be like multiple matching, and now they're like questions. You need to read a text and you need to match the questions to the different paragraphs. So before they had like 7 different or 6, I don't remember exactly, 7 different short paragraphs about different things. Now they have one whole text about one and the same thing, and they have like 8 questions. You need to read the text and to match the questions to different paragraphs. It's a little bit more difficult, but it's okay. It's doable, but we need resources. They don't give the resources.
Okay, I heard you. I noted it down. I'll take a look at it.
And the speaking, the monologue, it had like 3 points. Kids had to say like about 10 or 12 sentences on 3 points on the topic. Like, for example, talk about traveling. Why do people like to travel? Speak about how you like to travel. And number 3, I don't know, how traveling can, I don't know, broaden your mind. Now they have like 4 points, and what they introduced is different. It's not just topic, it's very like factual. So in the demonstration demonstration paper, there was a task about the library, and it was like libraries, and the question was like, what is the name of the book you are reading or have recently read? What it is about. Tell what it is about. It's very difficult. Can you imagine? And they don't, I can imagine that they're going to introduce all the topics to the course of the 9-year course of teaching English, learning English at school, and the topics will be very various, and the questions will be very difficult. But kids need to prepare, they need time. There are no materials.
I hear you. Usually the YG and OG are very structured, like what they expect from students. So Tom and I will take a look, and we'll see what we can do to develop activities as soon as possible. All right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions? Any other requests?
Not for today.
Not for today? All right, so low-level materials, we continue. Linking words, plus the pyramid of I'm right. I'll include materials on that. That's very good for speaking and for writing parts. And we'll take a look at the this OG speaking part and reading part.
Yeah.
All right?
How about used to and get used to?
Be used to, get used to?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we have that.
Yes, we have.
There you go. We only have basic practice. That's already higher level stuff. All right, so basic practice is fine, right? That's fill in the blanks, things like that. You'll find that in your textbooks, things like that. We have a good collection here of basic practice for that. I assume what you'd like to have more of are P2s, P3s, and production for B, get used to, right?
Yes.
Because the form is not difficult for students to get. the form is clear. It's not very difficult. It's either be or get used to plus being or a noun. I found the difficulty with be and get used to is for the students to understand when to use be, when to use get.
Yes, that's the point.
Right?
They
So-
don't understand when to get, when must they use be or get. It's sometimes very difficult for them.
So I find a good way to do that actually is when I teach be, get used to, I will start the 15-20 first minutes of the lesson will be devoted just to be, get, plus an adjective. So like, for example, there are a lot of expressions that work. I'll show them through a timeline. For example, be, get married. So I'll show them a timeline. I'm not married. This is a continuous state that existed for some time. Then I got married. It's a one-time thing. And then I am married. And we'll do exercises like that first for them to focus on feeling the difference between be and get. Because the difference is really just there. The difference is that be, we're talking about a state, we're focusing on the state we're in. We're either used to, you could ask me, Antoine, after 13, 14 years, are you used to living in Russia now? Yes. I'm used to the climate. I'm used to, oh, it's, the winter is starting. So the thing with winter is not just, well, in St. Petersburg, not just the cold, but also the dark days. I'm used to not seeing the sun so much throughout the winter. What else do you think I need to get used to?
To Russian food, Russian people.
Oh, I got used to Russian food very quickly. Actually, I don't know. I really like the food. It depends what. For example, I don't eat borscht. I'm ashamed to say, but it's just because I don't like beetroot. But apart from that, I'm a big fan. Pelmeni with smetana and luk. Draniki. I love draniki. Pancakes. So I got used to Russian food very, very quickly.
We are glad to hear it.
So I'll play with that first with the students, the difference between be and get, before getting into the whole difference between being used to something. No, so the timeline is the same. You're not used to something, you got used to something, and you are used to something. And then you can focus, so you focus just on the three first basic ones. Am not used to, got used to, am used to. And then you can look more in details to got used to. Wait, but we're talking about something difficult here. So if it was not difficult, you probably got used to doing it very quickly. But if it was difficult, maybe during the process, there was a time when you were getting used to it. And here you introduce continuous with get. The whole idea of the process of, hey, it's getting better and better. So start with am not, was not, got, am, and then you look in details and you'll start exploring the continuous form of get. That'll help you a lot. Well, that'll help your students a lot to understand, feel the difference between be and get used to.
Great, thank you.
Can you make a little video for this pattern? Maybe you or maybe Tom. I saw Tom's video about used
Tom.
to, and it was perfect. Do you hear me?
I'm writing it down. Yeah, sorry. So video explanation, yeah? You find the videos useful? Do you watch the videos?
Yes.
Yes.
And I even show it to my students. Used it during my lessons.
All right, then we'll okay.
Good explanation, easy and very practical.
Video explanation for be and get used to. Any other requests?
Card flip.
Sorry?
Card flip. for
More
being
card
get
flip?
used to. Yay, more.
On anything in particular?
On this one, they get used to, and something
Ah.
else on everything. Card flip is gorgeous.
No, card flip, I love it. It's a very easy way to automate things. All right. If there are no more requests, we'll end here today for the webinar. I'm spending the weekend in Kaliningrad now for a teacher training. But I'll transmit that to Tom. Tom will start working and we'll get on it on your different requests. Tom will start tomorrow. We'll continue working on Monday on that. All right? There you have it, okay? Would you like to have more sessions like that where we have a bit more question and answer webinars?
Yes, please. It would
All
be
right.
lovely.
All right. I am in town next week, so next week we'll have another webinar, okay?
Okay.
Great.
All right.
We'll be waiting for that.
So, enjoy the evening
Thank you.
You too.
and talk to you next week.
Okay. See you.
Thank you for the webinar. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.